Hello, can you hear me, guys? Hello. Hello. Alright, I'm gonna do this again. Victor Michael Cruz, born on November 11th, 1986, as an American former... No, I'm just not gonna read that part. He was number 80, Cruz in 2012. Born on November 11th, 1986, age 38, Paterson, New Jersey, USA. He's 6 feet, 0 inches, 1.38 feet meters, 204 pounds, 993 kilograms, high school, Paterson Catholic, Paterson, New Jersey, UMass, 2005 to 2009, undrafted, Bears, Chicago, 303 receptions, 4,549 passing yards, receiving touchdowns. Cruz was born in Paterson, New Jersey on November 11, 1986, due to Blanca Cruz and Michael Walker. Was a fighter. His father was African American and his mother was Puerto Rican. Cruz's father died by suicide in 2007. Cruz attended Paterson Catholic High School in Paterson. He completed a post-graduation semester at Bridgeton Academy of North Bridgeton, Maine. Cruz put up 47 catches for 869 yards with 8 touchdowns in a single season with Bridgeton Academy at Paterson Catholic. Victor played with receivers and defensive backs for coach Andrew Sloman, who took his credit for success. He earned the All-State honors as a senior in 2003 when the team went undefeated as 11-0, captured by the New Jersey Pinnacle Group, a championship that the season. Cruz caught 42 yards and 19 touchdowns, 15 on receptions. Reason why I'm doing this because as Hispanic Inheritance Month is coming up, I want to do players that have a Puerto Rican backstory, and he's one of them that appeared up. So we're going to talk about him today. If you don't know who Cruz is, fun fact, he was on the 2011 roster when the Giants beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl with Eli Manning. Cruz intentionally struggled to success in the combine. His college studies with his football career was sent twice home from the University of Massachusetts for academical reasons. He was only eligible for play as a Minuteman in 2007, but went on to have both solid college football and went on to complete a BA in Afro-American Studies from UMass. He finished his career. He didn't play until his junior year, though. Reason why I'm skipping some of this, because I actually didn't put on my camera. I didn't put on my mic last time, and I read all that, and you guys wouldn't have been able to hear my voice when I went back for the footage, so I'm reading it again. He scored 11 touchdowns for 200 receiving yards. Cruz was the first-time All-Colonial Athletic Association wide receiver for the years 2008 to 2009. Okay, we're going to jump to it. The New York Giants. Cruz went undrafted for the 2010 draft and was signed the day after the draft by the New York Giants. In 2010 season, in the preseason game against the New York Jets, in August 16, 2010, Cruz helped the Giants win 31-16 by catching 6 passes for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. He finished the preseason leading the NFL with 297 receiving yards, timed with the preseason lead with 4 touchdown catches and selected to the Giants' 53-man regular season roster. He was praised by and highlighted by the critics for his performance throughout the preseason and played 3 games at the season before a hamstring injury placed him on the injured receiver for the remainder of the season. 2011, after the Giants lost Steve Smith to free agency, Cruz began the season as the team's 4th wide receiver before injury to I can't read his name, led him to receiving a larger role in the Giants over the win over Philadelphia Eagles in Week 3 against the heavily favored Eagles. Team Cruz made a huge impact, mostly highlighting with Cruz was a reception made by the 2 defenders which he took to the end zone for a touchdown. Cruz finished that game with 3 catches for 110 yards for 2 touchdowns, the first and second in his career. In Week 4, the Giants trailing 27-24 to the Arizona Cardinals in the 4th quarter under 3 minutes left to play. Cruz made a reception and went down before being touched by the Cardinals' 29-yard line and released the ball. He got up believing Cruz had fumbled since he never touched a Cardinal, picked up the ball as if it was still alive. The play was whistled dead, but further replay after the game showed Cruz did appear to fumble. On the next play, Eli Manning threw a game-winning touchdown pass to Kareem Nix. In Week 5, 36-25 loss to Seattle, Cruz caught the one-handed 68-yard touchdown reception off a tipped-off pass. Later in the game, Cruz also lost a fumble, allowing Seattle to tie the game at 22, with the Giants down 29-25 inside the 20. Cruz slipped on his route with the ball in the air in attempt to catch the ball, tipped into his arms. Brandon Browner, who returned it for a 94-yard for the game-clinching touchdown. In Week 11, against the Philadelphia Eagles, he had 6 receptions for 129 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. In the following game on the road against New Orleans Saints, he had 9 receptions for 157 for 2 touchdowns and 9. In the next game against the Green Bay Packers, he had 7 receptions for 119 yards with 38-35 loss. In Week 16, he tried to tie the NFL record with an explosion 99-yard touchdown catch against the New York Jets. His 89-yard after catching on the play in his most wide receiver on the 99-yard reception. This catch has constantly been highlighted as a turning point of the 2011 Giants season. In the same game, Cruz also surpassed Amari Toomer as the record holder as the most single season receiving yards by the Giants. In Week 17, the do-or-die game against Dallas for the final playoff slot in the NFC, Cruz had 6 receptions for 178 yards, including games first scored with 74-yard touchdown catch, as well as a 4th quarter 44-yard catch on the 3rd and 7 that puts the Giants in a possession to make a field goal that puts the Giants up by 2 scores. The Giants added another touchdown, a 4-yard pass to Eli Manning to Heem Hickens. I don't know your name. Pass in one season for Eli Manning. and beat the Cowboys with a whopping 31-14. Cruz was praised for a terrific route running and discriminating the Cowboys' defense. Cruz finished with the season with a single franchise record 1,536 receiving yards with 82 receptions and 9 touchdowns. Cruz was the named of the second star team All-Pro by Associated Press. He was named the most improved player by the PFWA. Against the 49ers in the NFC Championship, Cruz had 10 catches for 142 yards, all in the first half, as the Giants edged the 49ers 20-17 in overtime, advanced to Super Bowl XLVI against Tom Brady. The Giants advanced to the Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady against the Super Bowl, and the Patriots for another Super Bowl title. Cruz had 4 receptions and 25 yards and a touchdown in the game. Cruz had been popularly known for celebrating every touchdown with a salsa dance. He stated that it was honored in honor of his deceased grandmother, who taught him how to do salsa dance and loved touchdown dances. Cruz's touchdown dance led him to receive an offer to appear on Dancing with the Stars. However, he rejected it. He turned it down. He was ranked 39th on his fellow players on the NFL Top 100 Players of 2012. In Week 2 in 2012 season, Cruz had 11 receptions for 179 yards and had 1 touchdown in the 41-34 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go Bucs! Let's beat those Houston Texans tonight. In Week 4 against Philadelphia Eagles, he had 9 receptions for 109 yards and a touchdown in a 19-17 loss. In the following game, with a 41-27 victory over the Cleveland Browns, he had 3 reception touchdowns in Week 17 against the Washington Redskins. He had 7 receptions for 131 yards and a touchdown in a 27-23 victory in Week 13 against the New Orleans Saints. He had 8 receptions and one for 121 yards and a touchdown in the 52-27 victory, killing the Saints. Overall, Cruz finished 86 receptions for 1,092 yards receiving and 10 receiving touchdowns in 16 games and started. He was named to the Pro Bowl for the 2012 season. He was ranked 58 by his fellow players on the NFL Top 100 Players of 2013. In 2013, on June 14, 2013, Cruz signed a 1-year contract for $2.879 million, restricting the free agent tendency on July 8th. 4 days after 4th of July, in 2013, Cruz signed a 5-year contract for $45.879 million in total contract extension. This made a total of 6-year deal, including the 3-year agent tender. Cruz suffered a heel bruise on August 18 preseason game. Unlike center David Bashford's injury, Cruz's heel bruise was deemed minimal in nature. In the Giants' regular season opener against the Dallas Cowboys, he had 5 receptions for 118 yards and following 3 touchdowns in the 36-31 loss. In the following game against the Denver Broncos, he had 8 receptions for the 118 yards and a touchdown in a 41-23 loss in Week 14 against the Kansas City Chiefs. He also had a 10 reception for a 164-yard and touchdown in Week 11 against the Green Bay Packers for 110 yards for a 27-13 victory. We finished with a 2013 with 73 receptions for 998 receiving yards for 4 receptions and 14 touchdowns. However, on October 12, 2014, against the Philadelphia Eagles, he torn his parallel tendon, primarily ending his 2014 season. In 2014, Cruz produced 23 receptions for 337 receiving yards and a touchdown in 6 games. In 2015, after a long rehab, Cruz gave an update informing the media had he not fully recovered. Cruz returned to training camp for summer 2015, but aggravated his calf. The aggravation of his calf was further delayed his comeback from Week 5. Cruz's return was pushed to play in Week 10 against the New England Patriots, but later was announced that Cruz would undergo surgery on his left calf and would miss the entire 2015 season. On November 17 in 2015, he was placed on an season-ending injury reserve. On 2016, after 2 years of rehab, Cruz returned to play on 9/11 on 2016. The Giants opened against the Dallas Cowboys that afternoon. He scored a game-winning touchdown and celebrated with the salsa dance. In his first 2 years, Victor Michael Cruz would follow his performance against the New Orleans Saints. But the game catch in the final minutes of the game, the Giants went on winning. The Giants went on the win to the game by 16-13 on September 27. Cruz was fined $12,145 for a group celebration, dancing in the end zone. With a fellow wideout. Odell Beckham Jr. was also fined for the same reason. Cruz finished his 2016 season with 39 receptions for 538 receiving yards by 1 receiving touchdown. Cruz had 3 receptions. Cruz will have 3 receptions for 40 yards for the Giants. 38-13 wildcard loss to the Green Bay Packers on February 13, 2017. Cruz was released from the Giants. On May 25, 2017, Cruz signed with a 1-year deal with the Chicago Bears and appeared with the 4 preseason games, catching 6 passes for 28 yards. And had a touchdown on September 2nd, 2017. Cruz was released from the Bears. In 2017, the Giants suffered injury-prone with many injuries in the wide receiver position, and there were many speculations that the Giants and Cruz would reunite. However, the deal was never materialized, and Cruz remained a free agent during 2017 season. In 2018, on August 21st, Cruz renounced his retirement status and joined the ESPN as an analyst. He intended to sign a 1-day contract with the Giants as a member, but never actually did so. Cruz hosted the first season of MTV's Challenge for Champs, won a Super Bowl. Now I'm going to show you his college stats. Sit tight. He was 5 feet 11 and 5'8" inches, which is 1.2082 meters. Weight 206 pounds, which is 93 kilograms. An average arm length is 31 inches, which is 79 meters. Span hand is 9.5 inches, which is 24 meters. 40-yard dash was 4.45 seconds. 10-yard sprint was 1.56 seconds. His 20-yard sprint was 2.60 seconds. His 20-yard shuffle was 4.17 seconds. His free cone drill was 6.96 seconds. Vertical jump was 41.5 inches, which is 1.0 meters. Board jump was 10 feet, which is 5 inches, which is converted into 3.18 meters. And his bench press was 16 reps. And this is the story of him. I'm going to do more stories on these players here soon. Get ready, because there's more players that have a Puerto Rican background on their parents. However, he had a personal life. Cruz had a daughter, Kennedy, with Alina Wasley, that had a relationship with the actress, I can't read her name, from November 2017 through July 2021. In September 2010, Cruz found a Young Whalers clothing line for former teammate Nate Collins. Cruz, the former teammate Ozzy Bababa, were among the brand for normal models. Cruz's college roommate was then UMass quarterback and current Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Liam Cullen Domes, whom Cruz credits as one of the first recognized his talents as a wide receiver. Following shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School on December 14, 2012, Cruz honored one of the victims, Jack Pinto, age 6. Pinto was at the game. Cruz wore a tribute on his shoes in the game against the Atlanta Falcons. 2 days after the massacre, in permanent marker on one shoes read RIP on December 19, 2012. He visited the Pinto family in Newtown, saying, "I felt like it was the only right that I pay family as much respect as I can." Cruz gave the cleats and gloves he wore in the Falcons game to Pinto's brother, Ben. And that's the story of him, his legend story of his story. That's his story of how he became what he become. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a new player every day. So get ready and stay tight for that. Peace out. I hope you guys can hear my voice. Peace out.